All right, welcome back on episode 11 of Are You Not Entertained podcast. And we're going to just get straight into today's agenda. Breaking the ice, RAM prices skyrocketing. That just happened. Val confirms no subsidization for the new hardware. Did you catch that? MTV is shutting down?
Benito.
Japan says no to Western influence. I don't blame them. And Star nears $1 billion in funding. I would never understand. But let's get into this topic of RAM.
Get into it.
RAM prices are going up, man. Listen. It's a hard knock life for you if you're in need of RAM right now, because it's just the prices is just, you look 1 week is one price and 2 weeks later it's triple the price. Like it's no warning. There is no like, hey, this is going to happen. It just happens overnight while you sleeping and you wake up like, well, damn, fuck me. But what is causing the RAM prices to skyrocket? Well, let's get into that. They say manufacturing shortages. That's always an issue. Global supply chain issues again. High demand from AI servers and data centers. Now, I do know that's a fact. Manufacturing internationally is raising prices. Plus, that whole little tariff thing that the United States president got going on still to this day. And, prices just getting out of hand. And the shit rolls downhill. So who's that coming to? Us gamers. PC building costs has been the most expensive it's ever been. GPU increases lead to higher end RAM requirements. Budget gaming is basically dead. Price to performance gap widening for new PC gamers. Listen, it's really not a industry that is not getting affected by the RAM increase. And as gaming and graphics and all that gets better, those game companies that's using that Unreal Engine 5, they want larger and denser textures on your characters in your open world and all that. The quote unquote ray tracing that they love to use. Listen, it's just what you expect. I mean, that's what the business is saying. Like, listen, you asking for more, therefore it's going to cost you more. The more you ask, the more money we ask. It's only right, quote unquote. This is what the business people are saying that's conducting that are manufacturing this RAM chips for y'all. Infamous, what do you have to say in response to that quote unquote comment from that manufacturer saying you're asking for more, so we want more money?
I'm gonna start this off with some controversy, just a little bit, just to stir the pot. PC Master Race, you ain't looking so hot now, are you? This to me is, now yes, the shortages and high demand, I buy it, but I don't buy it. But I do know there were numerous reports coming out that OpenAI is buying up GDDR RAM 900,000 by the truckload.
God damn. Yeah, so they can't keep up.
Yeah, as we have talked about before, the race is on, ladies and gentlemen. The race is on for these companies to not only make, but to hit the finish line, make and complete a fully functional AI. You have Microsoft laying out thousands to save billions just to pour into the initiative. You have Apple. Apple is paying Google to get their shit together. So it is a huge bid race, but my thing is, I don't see how you, the company that makes this, and people are buying up your product, oh, well, I'm just going to up the price on it just so I can make more money, but you're not losing money. Everything you make is selling. So I think this is bullshit, that this is once again being offloaded on the consumer to have to deal with this. And you are not lying. PC, everyone talks, oh, just build a PC, PC Master Race. Hey, they ain't looking hot right now to go make or build a PC. Even it's to the point that people are recommending Walmart built gaming PCs because it'll save you money.
Yeah,
because you check current prices right now, 64 gigabytes of GDDR RAM costs as much as the PS5 system itself.
Jeez.
That's absurd. That's crazy.
God bless y'all.
You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. And then this just hit recently, right before the show. SD cards are supposedly going up in price as well. They're using that, not just the regular ones, but the so-called SD Express, which solely is used for the Nintendo Switch 2. Prices of that is going up. I think the prices of that is affected so badly that none of them were put on sale for Black Friday. Friday. FYI, at the time of this recording, it is Black Friday, so you can go and check the prices just to see whether or not Infamous knows what he's talking about. But trust me, believe me, I know what I'm talking. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Greed is running rampant through the entertainment sector because now you have reports Xbox salesmen were told by Microsoft, "Hey, another price hike is going to come from these systems." Because there were reports were saying that PlayStation bought up a good quantity of this RAM months ago when the prices were still low, so they're safe for the next 4 to 6 ish months. No one really
Yeah,
has a
that but
ballpark figure, but
that ain't
in a
nothing
sense,
though.
Sony prepared, Xbox didn't. So now
Allegedly.
Xbox is telling its people, we're gonna raise the prices again. Which I don't know how in the hell you do that when you are already an expensive ass car note. Or so you're already someone's rent payment
Yeah.
for your console. No one's gonna buy that. You raise the prices again. But I
Listen.
find it highly disgusting, apprehensive that these billion-dollar companies choose to just say, "Hey man, fuck the consumer, they'll buy it." And to everyone who hears this, fans, all in between, stop buying. Consumers, stop consuming. These companies forget that it is our money that determines their success. If you stop paying and put your money where your mouth is, they will suffer. And I say, let them suffer. One less yacht to buy, one less trip to Dubai, let them suffer. Play what you already have. I know every gamer has a backlog. I bet dollars to donuts. Every gamer has a back. They want to keep raising these prices. They want to keep just saying, "Oh, let the consumer have it." No, 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 no. We're not going to do that. We're not gonna do that because
Whoa,
64
whoa, whoa,
gigabytes,
buddy.
$500 for 64 gigabytes. The last time I
God.
checked, memory is always the cheapest component, whether it be PC or console. And you're telling me 500 for 64 gigabytes?
I
That's
do
crazy.
wanna
All
I
oh,
wanna
go ahead.
ask you something real quick before you circle the go down the rabbit hole. Now that you see how the price of RAM has went up, does this make the price of consoles when you compare it to what it's gonna cost to make a high-end PC? Does this make the console prices a little bit more attractive, or you still like fuck that?
It does, can, and will make the console prices go seem a bit more attractive. It is why currently, this is why Sony has PS5 for Black Friday. They say, "Hey, we're good. We can choose to sell at a discount, get more market cap, more share, and then once
Mhm.
you're in their ecosystem, just like Apple, hey, the money will come pouring in." But that is a good point. With these high prices, it's gonna put people in a more conscientious predicament, and this will have long-standing ramifications because when prices go up, they seldomly ever go back down to their normal
Oh,
price.
yeah, that's why I don't know
Why,
why
why,
I be
why would they want
reading
to
people
make record
saying
profits and then
yeah,
go back
saying
to
they gonna
old profit?
come down. No, they're not. Once you comfortable, you
No, no,
comfortable. Ain't
no.
no going back.
There is no going back.
Ugh.
So
Mm-mm.
I'm curious how this will have ramifications on another topic. We'll talk about the Steam machine, but
Mm.
as far as consoles go, yeah. So now, and this is something I thought about, and I'll even ask you. This sets the stage for these platform holders. Well, we won't say Nintendo because they already have their next gen console out, but for Xbox and PlayStation, this sets the stage for that 2026. Highly unlikely for those new consoles to come out. Even
It's
27,
gonna be hard, yeah.
they would truly need to swallow the pill. You either extend the generation, just how as the 360 and PS3 was extended due to the 2008 crash, everything that went on with that, or you risk putting out a product that is so expensive, absurdly expensive, beyond what normal crisis, I'm sorry, not crisis, consoles are. You're gonna push out the casual market.
Yeah, but we talked about how gaming is not it's an expensive hobby now. So
It's leaving hobby status and becoming a luxury now
yeah, but okay, so this is my second part to my original question. I know you said that yeah, this make consoles more attractive, but how about
to a
the fact
degree.
that yeah, to a degree, the rise in prices of high end PCs? Because I guess I mean, but even your budget PCs are kind of still expensive. Your consoles are expensive. How attractive does this make having something like Game Pass now, where if you had Game Pass and you just need a controller, you can play anything anywhere? Does
Mm,
this make that more attractive? Because I think it does, and I think this is
mm,
why the increase in price of Game Pass is still gonna look like a deal when you have to compare the hardware. Like, if you already got a TV, a smart TV, you can play Game Pass right now. All you need is a controller. I think this is gonna make Game Pass any other, like, ecosystem like that, play anywhere type of thing setup even more attractive. I think that's gonna be the true winners for the next couple of years, especially if RAM continues to jump overnight like it is. I think I think Xbox could be cooking, or Microsoft Studios, whatever they're called. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not think of that, and you make a very, very compelling point. Whether you're in it or not, now it looks like, hey, this is back to being the best deal in gaming.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you're in the ecosystem, you have a console already, all right, you're safe.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
fine. You have nothing to worry about as long as nothing happens to the system or you just don't get rid of it.
Mhm.
But if you were one of those people and you haven't jumped the bandwagon yet, you're still on what is it, the Xbox One and the PS4. All right, you've had many chances, to rectify that. It hasn't happened, so it's a little bit on you. But at the same time, as my co-host said, hey, you got a smart TV and a controller. That Game Pass app is everywhere. Also with a
Yeah,
steady, you gotta have steady internet as well. But yeah,
yeah.
I can see that causing more attractive, and
Mhm.
I do believe that that is Microsoft's whole play
Yep.
is we ain't worry about the hardware. We
They don't
just
make
need
money
them in the
anyway.
ecosystem.
Yeah, just get
We
the mofos under the umbrella. They
we
don't care
just
how
need
you
them
get
in the
under the
ecosystem.
umbrella.
Now, I will say this. Heed my warning. Game
Oh
Pass,
shit.
they will raise the price
Yeah,
again. I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you right now.
yeah.
Their goal is to probably hit Game Pass at $50 a month. And as
Damn.
absurd and crazy as that sounds, mark my
Fit
words,
fit
it
fit
went
it.
from
You want $50?
17 to
You want
20.
600 a
Hey, right now it's 360 a year.
year? No pun intended.
In Microsoft eyes, the more they pump value into it, the more they feel like, hey, they should pay more. Like I said,
Yeah,
that's just my speculation, but I'm telling you, it went from 17 to 20 to 30 very
yeah,
quickly. And you talking about a dude who had Game Pass since its inception. Shout out to Inception. That's a great movie, by the way. Yeah, I can see the prices of the RAM, even the SD cards.
yeah.
Now the SD
Crazy.
cards, as far as gaming goes, you only have to worry about that if you're a Nintendo Switch 2 owner. This would be a great time to I'm gonna throw this out here. This would be a great time for you to focus on physical cartridges, physical games. Because if you're buying digital, it's gonna eat up that 256 gigabyte system. If you buy physical,
Mhm.
hey, you ain't gotta worry about that. But unfortunately, it's very hit or miss on Switch 2 with full-fledged games on the cartridge. If it ain't the first party, you really, really don't know what you're getting into. To bring it all back home, everything's getting expensive. And this RAM shortage and this push for AI, everyone is hoping the AI bubble bursts. And it will. It will.
Yeah, I mean, some people
And
gonna get left behind, and
oh
the
yeah.
the yeah, the
But
leaders
the
is gonna come
sad
out.
part is when the bubble bursts, the biggest players that's making all these moves, they're still going to be here because they'll be able to eat that loss.
Yeah, yeah,
Microsoft, Apple, Google, Open AI, they'll still be here. Still be here. Maybe I don't know about Open AI. I don't know what their finances is, but definitely Microsoft, Apple, and Google. That's all I got because, like I said, this is ridiculous. That
yeah.
every time these companies are inconvenienced, the consumer will take care of that.
But, listen, I just wanna point this out as a business major. The consumer always gets the short end of the stick in all
Yes, they
facets
do.
of, and it's not just
Mhm.
gaming, it's just not entertainment, it's all facet of anything that is for sale. But this is some things I wanna just leave you with, so you just think on your own as you're, playing your video games, watching your RAM is in everything. So it's just not the gaming industry that's affected. Like, even the people, even Apple is going to be affected. Like, this affects a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of things. So just don't think that us gamers are going to get fucked over and bent over. No, it's everybody. And if the manufacturers
it's
say that's the
everybody.
price, then that's the price. And listen, the companies ain't got no choice but to raise prices, because why? Shit rolls downhill, and unfortunately the consumer is at the bottom of that hill. But I also want to make a point, because I saw this in the tea leaves too. They ask, are devs just becoming lazy? Because they say games are so unoptimized on purpose. Is
Yes.
more RAM a crutch instead of better optimization? Now, listen. That's up for the debate. I'm not here to argue that. And they also said these price increases are going to split gaming, meaning high end PC gamers versus everybody. Which, listen, they already do that. And it also said to flashback. Remember when 8 GB was enough? It went from 8 to 16 to 32 being recommended. Now, listen, this is as much as you can get for an affordable price. And that's just the sad state that we're in, listen, the manufacturer has everybody by the balls, and we'll just have to see if prices. I think prices are never going to come down. I think the people that's on Reddit saying, "Hey, just wait out, wait out, wait out," those are the same people when COVID hit and the prices went up of houses, and they was just like, "Wait it out, wait it out, wait it out." 5 years, house prices ain't came down yet. So listen, you do what's best for your pockets in the best interest of your pockets, but just take my warning. Listen, I don't think they're coming back down, and maybe they'll stabilize and stay where they at, but more than likely they gonna keep going up, and this does not look well for the next generation of consoles. Listen, I kept saying, I said it. I said them PS6s ain't gonna be under $700. This just proves my fact that what I said is true. But I said what I said. It's coming true. Everything is laid out for you.
Moving on.
No sense to beat a dead horse. That just happened. Valve confirms no
Uh,
subsidization for new hardware. Now I'm gonna let my cousin go because he's the one that was all about like, oh, Valve ain't gonna do wrong by the consumer. And I told him, don't trust none of these mofos. I'll let him go.
no one likes a bragger. But anywho, this is I want to take this time, ladies and gentlemen, mark this on your calendar. Infamous was wrong, and I'll admit that. It came out recently from Valve themselves. The Steam machines will not be subsidized and priced accordingly as consoles are.
Hey, break
Meaning
that
that
down. Tell them what that
I'm
means. Okay,
into it.
okay.
What that means is typically Microsoft and Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really Nintendo anymore, but anywho, will release their consoles, and the price you pay on that console, majority of the time, they're not making a profit off of it in a sense. We're gonna keep this
Mm-hmm.
short. They're not making a profit. They're taking a loss on the console, but they're taking the loss on the systems with you purchasing games on the subscription services, microtransactions, accessories. That is how they make their bread and butter and make their money back, especially PlayStation. But in recent years, they're kind of turning that around. PS4 was sold at a profit, even though I think it was like only $18. That's
Yeah, it's
still
very
some,
slim.
rather than taking the hit. PS3s were sold at a great loss. It took $800 to make a PS3. They sold it for $600 before they did the revision. So the more they sold that system, the more they lost money. Valve has said they're not doing that. That the Steam machines will be priced accordingly based off of mid-range PCs and the most common PC setup and specs that people play Steam games on. Valve would know this because it's their platform. They have the data, so they know what is the most common hardware that's out there. But as we were saying with our last topic, with the skyrocketing prices of RAM and now
Mm-hmm.
SD cards, well, that plays a huge, huge part into this. Excuse me. Speculation was coming out saying that this is probably why Valve did not give a price on this, because in the
Mm-hmm.
background they saw and they knew this was going on. And
Mm-hmm.
until they can
Mm-hmm.
figure out some type of way to adjust this, now of course you may be thinking like, oh, if they buy big enough in bulk, get a discount, etc. Yes, that is true. As me and my cousin debated off screen, it doesn't matter how rich or how wealthy or how much money any of these companies have, they always want, say it with me now, more. Yes, Valve is a privately owned company. They are not publicly traded. They do not have stockholders, shareholders to answer to, but everyone wants, say it one more time, more money. And the toll for them to take a negative hit on this, even if they will make it back through Steam purchases and once you're in their ecosystem, it's
That's a
just not
that's a
happening.
that's a big bet.
It is a big bet. Now, you have people, certain YouTubers and journalists who have made videos, who have made articles talking about they spoke to this guy, they talked to
Oh,
Tom, Dick, Harry, Jim, Bob, Carl, Nelson, whoever.
Karen, Lisa,
And
Becky.
yes, all the office people, and they keep throwing out the speculations of, well, it may be in the range of this, oh, it could be in the range of this. I'm gonna forego all that, and I'm just gonna say this right here: the Steam machines cost more than $700. You just killed the casual market. You just pushed out the casuals, and now you are left with the hardcore. But here's the problem: this Steam machine is targeted towards people who do not and are not in the PC gaming realm. Anyone who has anyone who has a PC, they're not buying this. They're not buying this because they already have their setup. They already have everything to the way they want, their drivers, their GPUs, CPUs, RAM, they already have all that. So why would they purchase this? This was made for Valve to tap into a market, the simplistic console users, a plug and play, and that came from them themselves. The Steam Machine is a plug and play system, just like you price it too high, no one's going to grab it. The average casual consumer will look at that and see, well, oh, it's just as expensive as PS5 or an Xbox.
Mhm.
Why do I need to buy this and this complicated, this Steam OS I don't know anything about, and
Yeah.
games and what does it do and etc. All those questions that are not answered. I'm like, well, I could just get a PlayStation and just pop the game in or download it, and it just works. The pricing will determine the success. Now, I can understand, oh, if you don't know, you don't pay PC games. That's not true. I do have a gaming laptop and I do have a Steam Deck that I do use. Yes, I'm not big into it like everyone else with these $4,000 or $6,000 rigs. It's not my thing. I enjoy the simplistic nature of a console. Put the disc in or just hit the button on download the game and it just plays. Something goes wrong, hey, close the game out, reboot it back up. I don't even need to check an INN file or update a driver or manage your GPU getting coolant or whatever the hell. It's not for me. I was very shocked to hear this news because the Steam Deck, I'm pretty sure was subsidized.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty positive. So for them to go this other route, like I said, they had to have known this was coming. They had to have known, which is why they did not say the price, which is why they still have not and will not say the price. I'm sure somewhere in Valve, their CFO or whoever handles the money is negotiating their shoestrings and their hoodies to try to work out a deal. If they buy so much, where is the discounted number going to be? Because for people who do not know, Steam machines are their second attempt at this.
Yeah.
Now,
They've
I
been
will
here
admit,
before.
they've been here before, but I will admit, I thought they had a better chance at doing this because this is all being done in-house. Last time, Steam was having the third-party people make this. But this pricing says a lot. In the landscape, it's so crazy now that the PS3 costing $600, that's no longer a shock moment. The Pro is $750. The Xbox, whatever 2 terabyte thing, is $800. They don't give a shit anymore. They just like, hey man, hey, they gonna buy it. or they gonna buy it. There ain't another option. Valve can figure this out. They can salvage this. But mark my words, if this is over 7, it's not gonna do it. At that point, you might as well stick to either buying a PC, because trust and believe, they're hardcore PC players. They'll figure out and know ways on how to still make a PC, or you just go buy a console. And forgive me for saying this, but at this point, you just might as well just go and buy a PlayStation. PlayStation is on their way towards 100 million systems. The only one that didn't do that was the PS3. So Sony knows what they're doing with catering and bringing in the people to sell. Like I said when it started, Infamous was wrong because I was sure that they would subsidize to
Argue
get it
me
into
down.
as many hands as possible. You happy, Trees?
I'm just over here, in my opinion, sitting pretty. I just, try to give the most value news I can to our listeners. And I'm just saying, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I can be wrong. But I was pretty adamant when we went back and forth about this topic offline. But I just want to say this, and I'm not even going to drag my point out because you pretty much said everything. Listen, I think only Valve saving grace right now in the midst of everything with the RAM prices, SD prices, everything, just everything, period. I think if they made their order for their RAM chips last year or so, that's the only thing that's going to save them, and that's the only thing that's going to save this price. Now, if they're just now ordering, they're fucked. The RAM prices have skyrocketed. They're continuing to skyrocket. Even if you get a large amount order, I don't think manufacturers are giving you that much of a discount. They saying, fuck you, you need it anyway. Why would we discount you? You gonna buy it anyway. I'm telling you, all these makers and people that need RAM chips in their in their system right now, they are getting manhandled. They are getting bullied with the price. And, even if there are good intentions with trying to price things, they just have no choice. People can say you're not in recession. They can say you're not in a depressive state financially around the world, but everything shows its ugly face in the end. And the prices of RAM is just one of those ugly things that really show you where we at in world and financing and everybody's, bottom line. It really shows you where we're at. And unfortunately or fortunately, if they did make that RAM order, and I hope they ordered appropriately, to where if the demand is high at release, they can meet all the demands, because any reorder they do going forward is fucked. I think too that another thing that my cousin didn't think of is that the fact that he keeps saying that it's built in house, but that means that in house has to leverage a lot of things. They have to put some collateral on the line to get these things made and then pump them out, and then the marketing. Like I said, it's an uphill battle for Valve in this new hardware. And I went through the specs in one of our last videos. Yo, this thing is specced out, so it's gonna cost. I mean, they said all this semi-custom chips they're doing, all that comes at a cost. And who's gonna pay that cost is the consumer. Valve is not gonna just take L's on this new hardware. So, God bless them. I hope they made their RAM order a long time ago, and I hope they ordered appropriately that could cover them for the next 2 years. Now, if they're doing like PlayStation and Xbox, they're buying RAM 6 months out, they're fucked. They're fucked. And I kept saying it's weird that they didn't put a price out. They said all this nice shit. They was telling you what they was doing with their right hand while not bringing any attention to the left. That's alarming. That's a red flag in my mind. I'm pessimistic. I can't help it. Listen, I think the worst. Yeah, I'll be very, very interested in the price. I hope it is affordable, because like I said, gaming is becoming a luxury. It's becoming very expensive. So I hope it is a reasonable price that the casual gamer can get into. But if not, God bless them. I hope they do got some money in the bank, and this could be potentially another L. But I have all the hopes, and I really hope they do well with this release. But I told you so. These companies not taking an L. They not leveraging. I think they're taking notes. I told you something's coming. They buckling down. Everything that's coming out since I said that statement is coming true. These people are watching the pocketbooks more than ever. And listen, you better watch yours too, because they listen, they got to get their money in the end. And I mean, I guess you do spend money on stuff, but are you going to spend money on a $700 Steam machine with no controller? I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna just stay with my PS5. I'm cool.
I concur.
You staying with your Steam, and that's another thing. They kept saying that the Steam Deck is a new version will come eventually. You can only imagine how much that gonna cost. And I think too, and this is where I'm gonna end it. The Steam Deck came out in a totally different situation for people financing in their pocketbook. That Steam Deck came out in a very, very nice gray area. We're not in a gray area. We are in a red area in people's pocketbooks. And that's why I think the next Steam Deck and this hardware is going to reflect the times that we're actually in now. Because it's been a shift. And, maybe they'll keep delaying the Steam Deck 2 until we kind of even out or stabilize or something. But this hardware, I don't know if they'll delay that, since not saying they can't, but even delaying it, I don't think the situation is going to improve fast enough in the next 2 years. I'm thinking we got at least 2 years in this. All right, moving on. Man, listen, if you're a 90s baby, you know about some MTV. And this kind of shocked me, but I guess it didn't, because I know, BET has been on sale for a number of years, and they took it off the market and brought it back. And I think, my cousin said it's recently been bought by somebody. But listen, MTV to shut down music channels after 44 years on the air. By December 31st of 2025, MTV will close 5 of its music-focused channels: MTV Music, MTV 80s, MTV 90s Club, MTV, and MTV Live, in many countries, starting with the UK and Ireland. Oh, I didn't know MTV was in Ireland. Hey, shout out out to Ireland. We went to Ireland once, but listen. Anyway, the main MTV channel, MTV HD/flagship, will stay on the air, but its programming is mostly reality TV and not music videos. The shutdown is rolling out across Europe, Australia, Latin America, and other regions. What do you think about MTV shutting down? This nostalgia. I remember growing up watching MTV videos.
As do I.
I remember when Michael Jackson passed away unexpectedly. They played his videos all week when he passed away. And I think this is just like I said, the environment and this current situation will always reel its ugly head, and this is just it coming out. Hey, MTV, you either come up with the times or you get left behind. And I kind of think this is them in a last ditch effort trying to get with the latest time and how consumers consume, especially music and music videos. It's very subscription based. It's very much YouTube, Spotify, things on the go. So it's unfortunate, but hey, listen, even Blockbuster had to go at some point, and you just either got to keep up or you get left behind. And I think MTV is trying to not get left behind, but they're like 10 years too late. But what do you think about MTV shutting down?
I do agree with you. 10 years too late. I remember being a kid watching MTV, watching the music videos, the little interviews and everything. But I'm going to say this. This was slightly foreshadowed. I think a week or so ago, MTV canceled Ridiculousness. It was a long time running show on there. I think it's like 14 years and 44 seasons. Something like that. Anywho. But when that news had came out, I was like, oh, I agree with you. They're a little 10 years too late because MTV is not known for what it used to be known for when we were kids. MTV has gone the way of reality TV show. And, I think it was Teen Moms, the Jackass shows, and then the
Oh
other
yeah.
shit they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, MTV has not been
Wasn't Asher Kutcher Punk on MTV?
punked. And
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying. These reality-esque TV shows that, try to have a different flair or whatnot to them, it just, when I heard the news, I was like, MTV not shut down already?
I mean, yeah, I
I'm
can't
like,
remember the last
they
time I
still
thought about
around.
MTV.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, the last time when I hear MTV, I think of, like I said, those reality TV shows, ridiculousness, the Jackass stuff, the Bam Margera show they had. They just deviated so hard in like the mid-aughts when reality TV was coming around, and
Yeah.
they just fell by the wayside. This shocked me because, like I said, I was like, yo, MTV still around? But it's
Yeah.
it's very sad because this goes with so much older things, pillars of our childhood disappearing. MTV, Cartoon Network is gone. Various other,
Mhm.
staples of our childhood are just that's how I
Listen,
feel.
moment of silence from MTV and all our childhood like favorite shows. I think too a lot of reason why them shows they did end up ending just because I think they were tied to a certain time in life and you couldn't go no further and they never brought anything to replace it. So I mean, like I said, once you stand still in business, you're already behind the curve. So moment of silence for MTV. Thanks for all the golden memories. All when I was heavy in the Linkin Park days, MTV was crucial in watching their videos, getting into their music, and yeah, I guess the only hope we have for the youth getting into music is YouTube now, and Apple and Spotify and all that. So one time for the one time, but that's all I got. Rest in peace, MTV. Even though it's officially not all the way gone.
It's gone. They said they were cutting all those channels except for one, and so yo, it's gone. Tell me you're leaving without telling me you're leaving. Okay,
Look, once they
it's
start
gone.
saying we're trying to review ways and reallocate resources, you already know that's
Yep.
like, hey,
You already
we
know. Or
we
or
on the chopping block.
my favorite term. We're looking at a corporate restructuring. That means people
Ah,
can get fired.
dude, no, what's
That's
the
what
other
that
one?
means.
Due to economic.
Like, due to economic hardships or
Yes.
what is it, macroeconomics?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
that's
it's over.
that's corporate slang for, hey, you about to get fucking fire, my boy.
Yeah, so listen, if you grew up
Food
in
Kitchen.
MTV, this is a sad time, but hey,
Time.
listen, you probably forgot about MTV just like we did because they've been so quiet for so long. But moving on,
Moving
woo,
on up.
Japan says no to Western influence now. Listen, we all know is very stubborn. So this does not surprise me that they said, no, we're not taking on any influence from any other place. We're going to protect what we've always done and what we will do. That sounds just like Nintendo. They just burrowing along with the same shit, probably just looked a little different. But anyway, yes, and this comes after, last week we reported that Toei, is that how we say it? Animations are set to
Chloe.
spend $3.2 billion expanding anime and all that. So in a week later they said, hey, I know we said we put money in the stuff, but don't think we gonna act different just because we trying to expand to China and everybody else. We don't care about your feelings. And right on them. Listen, anime, it has did a certain shift from the 90s to the 2000s to where we at now. That is as far as it's gonna go. They're not gonna do no censorship. They're not gonna, I guess, butter down the flavor of anime. And right on them. I think they
No.
should stand 10 toes down in what they've done and what brought them to this point. Even though they have changed a little bit without admitting it. Because I remember Dragon Ball Z. It used to be some cussing and, Goku was playing with Bulma's underwear. And, it's a good time. It was a good time. But they don't do that nowadays. But what do you think about this news of Japan pushing back and saying, hey, we're not taking on no Western influence?
I am happy, and it's about damn time. So I'm gonna give a quick little synopsis. In the U.S., we have had a real paradigm shift of how people think, view, feel certain pop culture things, and one of them has been heavy censorship on people's customs, ideals, and Japan has just said, hey, we tired of this shit. I didn't get a chance to look up, but there were a few games throughout the recent years that where Europe and Asian markets got a version, the US
Yeah.
market was censored. And it was due to them fearing certain backlash from certain demographics, complaining and etc. And they're just like, you know what? We don't care. We do not care. We will not hold back our creativity, our customs, and our way of life because of your insensibilities and you getting caught up in your emotions. No, we're not doing it no more. And I'm happy for it. I'm happy for it because it started around the PS4 generation. Certain games came out in PS4 version, she had a little bit more clothes on, but then the Nintendo Switch version was full on, full on, as it was intended. And you saw a shift. You saw people buying up Nintendo Switches more or Nintendo Switch versions of the games more. No one wants censorship. Why do I have to suffer because you don't want to offend somebody who probably ain't even buying the fucking game?
Yeah.
That between the anime as well, because hey, my cousin, she ain't lying. Hey, look here. I remember a time when Dragon Ball Z, when they would hit each other, there was no sweat. It was blood.
Yeah.
There were scars.
They were
And this
cussing
goes back
too.
to this goes back to a previous topic we had on an older show, the golden age of anime. You had animes where people were getting unalived and they did not come back. Yo, he was gone. And they showed the unaliving live. It didn't happen off camera and it's some
Oh
cheap
yeah.
dialogue exposition. You saw him. You saw him. And then as time went on and the popularity grew, certain people, oh, it's too graphic. Okay, well then don't watch it then. Why are you
Yeah.
watching something you don't
Yeah.
agree with?
Just because it's
You
in
know?
animation doesn't mean it's for kids, like 5-year-olds. Like, look,
Oh, no.
nah,
Oh no.
get out of here.
But I am happy to see Japan taking this stance because even the merch, in a sense, was tamed down a little bit
Mm.
because of it's got to go to the U.S. And for people who do not know, the United States is the biggest for so many products, for video games, for anime, for clothes. The U.S. It's why
Collectibles,
so
yeah.
many people bring products here because we are a nation of consumers. We consume. Now, that's not a bad thing. It ain't really a great thing. But I'm just letting you know, hey, Japan, I'm here with you. As my cousin said, stand 10 toes down. Tell Western audience, hey, you don't like it, don't buy it. Plain and simple, because best believe more Dragon Ball is coming, more anime, more booby collectible statues. I'm here for it all. I will say this: I just don't know what took them so long.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I mean, I know they said, they pour in billions into the thing, and I think that made some people nervous because they said they're expanding, trying to put studios across the world and this, that, and that. So I guess this did make some consumers, especially in Japan, a little concerned. But hey, I mean, this is coming straight for Japanese developers and anime studios. This is what they're saying. They're saying we don't care about anybody's feelings, and I didn't know this, but Western studios, they're the biggest pushers of editing things and tone changes and
Yes,
content
yes,
removals. I didn't really realize that we are the biggest one across the globe. I always
we're
thought it
part
was
of the
China.
problem.
Yeah, I thought censorship was a problem in China, but I guess it ain't just China. It's everybody. Everybody got a piece of it, but protect the Japanese artists and the creators over there. Listen, protect them first. They say, hey, we're doing Japanese style first, and we always gonna keep them in the forefront. I mean, listen, hey, I love when people stay 10 toes down and they don't give a damn about nobody else's opinion. Cause listen, if I make a product and what my beliefs are, I'm not really moving. You ain't gonna move me. So we all know Japan people can be very stubborn, and I just like that they're stay in the status quo. Kudos to them. Yeah, they say, hey,
Actually,
we
you
might.
know what? You made me think of something. This comes off of the hills, as you reported, the Toei animation, investing the billions of dollars, but also this comes at a time where it seems Japan is having a renaissance in a sense. You have
Mm,
Nintendo and
yeah,
Sony making specific consoles just for that Japanese market. You have now the anime studios like, hey, we ain't catering, shifting our creativity to appease anybody else anymore. They're all seeming to close in like, hey, we're gonna take care of the home first before we
mhm,
take care of anyone else.
yeah,
And it makes sense because the Japanese culture or their however you want to put it, their economy. There we go. I'm sorry, drawing a blank. Their economy is not great right now. The yen is very very bad, and I'm not gonna say that they're having as much problems as we are, or they probably worse. I'm not sure because I don't know the conversion rate, but I do know the yen is real bad in Japan right now. So it seems everyone Japanese culture wise is buckling down and say, hey, fuck everybody else. We take care of us because guess what? That's all we got. Everyone else ain't gonna do it. So now all this news makes sense. What Nintendo did with the Switch 2, Sony now with the PlayStation, Toei, like, hey, we about to pump into all of this because, hey, once again, you may not know, animation is a huge tourist drive to
yeah,
Japan. Dragon Ball is a huge tourist drive to Japan. They
yeah.
make
All
buku
their
money off
IP is really like,
all of that, from
yeah.
Gundams to toys,
Oh,
all of that. I can see why
Pokemon.
they're like, hey, oh, Pokemon. I can see why they're like, hey, we about to focus on us and we're gonna ride this out. And Japan is very big on the camaraderie of their nation.
Yeah,
If one starts it, everyone follows suit.
yeah.
So this is not in a sense
Yeah.
surprising, but all I gotta say is, what took y'all so long?
I think this is coming up from the top down. I don't know who the people are in charge over there, but I think no studio or no animation studio is gonna make this bold comment without having the backing of the top people in the country. And you do make some valid points about them catering to the Japanese market more now than they ever done. I think in recent years that I can remember, because having region lock system that is budget friendly is kind of unheard of, especially in a time where they rose the price of all the consoles around the world, and Japan got a budget friendly one that's region locked. But hey, listen, I'm all for it. Let me know in the comments what you think about, is this a good thing? This is a bad thing? I think this is a good thing, especially for anime. Listen, let
I
these
think it's a
creators
great thing.
create. Yeah, let them have the freedom and the room to create. And that's when we, as anime watchers, gamers, are going to get the best product, when you let the person have the room to create what they want to create. I mean, like my cousin said, if you don't like it, you have the choice not to play it or watch it. That's your freedom as a civilian or a consumer. Listen, so kudos to them. 10 toes down. Love to see it. Can't wait for my next trip to Japan. Moving on. Listen, just let me take the time out because me and my cousin was randomly talking and I just thought I said, "Hey, what happened to that one game that they had all that money from real people? Did it ever come out?" Cuz sometimes I
Nope.
come, I go, I forget, I got my own things going in life and I sometimes forget certain things, but Star Citizen nears $1 billion in funding now. That's a wild funding number. This is not a major studio. These are like average everyday Joes and Moes donating money to them, and it's unheard of. $1 billion game. This Even if this game releases, I don't think you can ever fucking equate $1 billion being spent. I mean, it's been in development for more than a decade. Still no full release and no scheduled release. Why people keep spending? Massive promises, big vision, loyal fan base, consistent. Like, listen, consistent, just blubber of what they're promising. Listen, if you given money to this game, please comment below because I will honestly want to know when was your last time you gave them money and for what reason. What did they promise you that made you go out of your way to actually donate your hard earned money? I need to know what's playable right now. Reportedly there's an alpha build, test features but no full story, no finished game. Criticism versus support, some call it a scam. I mean they did get sued by somebody trying to get money back, and I guess the wording that they put out made it very very difficult to sue them for your money back. So if you've given money to this product, it's a good chance that this product never meets the day in light on the shelf. Like, this could still not come out after $1 billion being spent, and that's just insane. Listen, if you got money that you just don't care for or you just don't want, please let me know because I will send you some routing information because I'll take it and I'll do something real constructive and I'll give you a live update and give you the product of whatever you want. Listen, I'm for them to get $1 billion is crazy. What you got on this? Because I just this whole thing, I just don't understand. 10 years in development, a major studio could never get away with this. Like, if this was Ubisoft, Microsoft, Xbox Studios, even PlayStation Studio, we would ring them spending billions of dollars. We already talked about Concord spending $500 million. Did come out for 2 weeks. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was only 2 weeks and they scrapped it from existence, but they also gave you a refund. Listen, you ain't getting no refund from Star Citizen. Nah, that money gone. Listen, I hope you found a way to write it off on your taxes or something. The fact that your money is not safe, this is not a safe investment, and it still is not guaranteed to come out is crazy to me. But Infamous, let me know what you think about this topic. I'm
I think it's
flabbergasted.
horseshit. I think it's horseshit. I'm gonna keep this short and simple. I know next to nothing about this game as far as like what it's about. I know it's a space faring.
Yeah.
I think something to do with space, and that got everyone's attention. But let me say this: if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck. If this seems like a real big ass scam. This game was
Yeah.
supposed to come out so long ago, and there have been reports of funds mismanagement. Whoever the director is, he sees something, he wants to add this, he changes this, all of that, and I don't get why people are still giving them money, and they're giving them money by the truckload. There's bundles of DLC for the game. $20,000 ships, $10,000 ships, $100,000 ships, and bundles of resources and all this. And then the little bit of alpha or the little bit of game that's available to play, you can only play it for so long, and then they wipe the servers. You have to keep starting over from scratch playing whatever it is you're playing.
Hell no.
My heart goes out to the guy who tried to sue, but hey, baby, you gotta read the fine print. And it
Mhm.
is this game why people are so skeptical and so gun ho against funding Kickstarters. I have funded several Kickstarters, but I have done small things, majority books from independent authors, etc. Little graphic novel things, the G.I. Joe special collection, Transformers, etc. So I knew what I was backing. I was gonna get it. But before you pledge your money to a Kickstarter, they tell you, they warn you, and it's probably because from this lawsuit. Because that guy, he probably tried to sue Kickstarter before going to them, and they was like, "Hey, this ain't got nothing to do with us, bro. You donate to a Kickstarter. It is a probable that the product does not come out or come to
Mm.
fruition, and that
Mm, mm,
money
mm.
it just goes."
It's not funny, but it's it's crazy.
It's the same principle as you zelling somebody. Don't call text like, "Hey,
Oh,
I ain't mean to send it to them." They're gonna look at you
yeah,
like, "You sent it,
yeah,
right? Oh, well,
yeah.
yeah. All right, don't call it."
Hey, that little chat
I
box.
I do not believe in this game. There are people making bets that GTA 6 will come out before this game releases.
Jesus.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 will come out before this game releases. Hell, Half-Life 3 might come out before this game is released. This game has had controversies in the past. I don't know why anyone is still giving them. This is nearly 1 billion for one fucking. Now,
Yo, and
yes,
that's just listen, they saying GTA 6 could be a Billy, and that's not even confirmed. That might be just a made up number. So think about all the stuff we're gonna get in GTA 6 from Rockstar and the graphics and all that. This game is never gonna come anywhere close to GTA 6. And you
oh,
mean to tell me this
absolutely not.
costs more than GTA? Nah, bruh. Nah, they
No.
fucked.
Now I
I'm
know
sorry.
someone's gonna comment is gonna say Infamous. It's not just one product. There's a Squadron Part 2. Yes, yes. Technically, there's two pieces to the Star Citizen. There's the
Well, can
Star
I get
Citizen,
one after 10
the
years?
space-faring adventure, and then there's supposed to be a single-player component, which is the Squadron part. But the last time I checked, when that was supposed to come out, that got delayed, and
Shit.
there's been no further updates since. These people are taking your money, and they have been on a 10-year coke binge party rager. Whatever they show and give and do, it is for legal purposes to make sure that they cannot be sued. So no one can say, "Hey, y'all ain't doing nothing." But trust and believe me, they ain't doing nothing. I've seen the little bit of gameplay and little stuff here and there. I'm not impressed. Now, before you all say again, "Oh, wait, Infamous, you don't play PC games like that." You damn right I don't. And it's because of shit like this, but at the same time, too. Just because I don't play certain PC games, I know a good game when I see one. Eve Online looks better than this shit. WoW Classic than this shit. At least it's a feature complete. You know, what do I know? I'm just a guy who plays video games. You all want to keep giving y'all money to them? You go right ahead, because it's been 10 years.
Yeah, that's
Last I
crazy.
checked, I believe this game was originally supposed to come out in 2014 or
Oh
2015.
my
We're in
god.
25.
We didn't change
25.
consoles.
We didn't went through generations. People who had kids, them kids have grown up. They're in school. They're almost teenagers to some degree, depending on the child, and they have yet to show or deliver on the product. I ain't surprised, but at the same point, this is just crazy. But I haven't given them any money, and this is
No, no, no,
why
no, 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 no.
stuff like this I don't care for. If it ain't single player or it ain't co-op, and if it's tied to online only, no, I'm cool. I ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah. Listen,
So,
I've said many times I am pessimistic in everything in my life, and I just think everything is a scam. Especially if you asking for me for money, I don't even give my money to like cancer research because I'm like, we've been researching for how long? You ain't did nothing new. Y'all still doing the same treatment? Nah, scam. Every time I hear something, my first thought is a scam. Somebody has to really talk me and convince me that they earn my donation, my money. Like I work hard for my money. I'm not just gonna give it away willy nilly, and I ain't had no product. I say all the time, especially with that one game Dispatch when it was a weekly release and all that. I'm skeptical for that. I'm like, if I pay you your money up front, I want my product up front. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just being. That's just how I am. If you're one of the people that is still giving your money away, please stay tuned. We will release our Patreon, and you can, if you have money to give away, please give your money away to our Patreon, because at least we pushing out a product every week. God damn, it's been 10 years. You mean to tell me you got a server wiping my progress? Get the fuck out of here. Nah, bruh, it's scam.
oh
Somebody
yeah,
comment
oh yeah.
below if you still donating this, and you still don't feel like this is a scam 10 years later. Listen, we will ring Microsoft. We will ring PlayStation. I'm just keeping that same energy because, baby, if it's been 10 years, more than $1 billion, you gotta explain that. So explain where that money went to. What exactly did you do that cost what? I need a price for I need a line item. Give me a line item. Optimized receipt, whatever you want to call it, because $1 billion is crazy. I just don't understand. God bless whoever had the money just to give away, because they still get money to this day, and I don't understand. Please comment below if you've ever given money away to this, and to why. Like, what looked so good in anything that they presented to the public that was like, yeah, let me get these people $500. I believe in them. What? You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. Stop giving these people money. It's listen, I don't think this thing is ever gonna come out. It can never meet expectations of $1 billion game.
Oh no. If it ever does release, it will not. It will not people's demands expectations. The first thing people gonna say is, "Hey, where'd that money go?"
Mhm.
And then don't let it be broken. Don't let it have one hiccup, one frame rate drop, because people will say, "Hey, y'all had 10 years and $1 billion. Why this don't run right?"
Listen, since this is a Kickstarter, will this game, if play devil's advocate, let's use our platform responsibly. If this game was to ever truly come out, are they still gonna charge people money for this game?
So if you bought into the Kickstarter, when it will release, those people will just get the game for free because they
Okay,
funded
okay.
they
Woo.
funded it in a sense.
I was about
It's
to go a
think of
whole
the
rant.
Kickstarter as like early access. You
Okay,
you
I was
paid for it.
ooh, I was about to go on a
Yeah.
whole rant. Okay, okay, okay. Listen, at least you have that. I guess that's your only hope at this point. If you ever given the money, is that you won't have to pay for it. If they do release any updates, you get for free. Cause Jesus, 10 years, $1 billion. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the situation that we find ourselves in. And I say we, meaning y'all, whoever spent y'all money, because I hope this comes out for the sake of the people that's given them $1 billion. I hope there's been real people, actual real developers, and people working on this game. I don't know who's in charge. Like, do we have a person that's in charge of this game and putting out updates? Like, who's in charge of this game?
I can't remember the guy's name, but they have mentioned him before, and they have mentioned he's kind of all over the place.
Oh God,
One
he's a
month,
scammer.
you're working on this and adding this
He's
feature, and then he'll see something he likes and, "Hey, guys,
not
don't worry about
squirrel.
feature A anymore. You got to put in feature B, C, and D." And then while they shift hands and change that, he saw something else like, "Hey, let's do this." And then it has been, like I said, it has been speculated that they're probably pocketing this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Because the
billion
footage of the
dollars.
game I've seen the last time I saw it, this does not look like a super high quality, well polished, I can see my character's face reflection off the hull of the ship type of game. It just seems very bare basic. And I understand there's gonna be people in the comments. People want to defend this. I understand. People, let go of your brand loyalty. These companies don't know you. These devs don't know you. Let it go. Because like I'm telling you, for anyone who put money into it, and I believe the dude that sued, I believe he spent $15,000.
Oh
They're
my
selling ships.
God.
They're selling ships. Oh, yes, see, that's what I was talking about. The game has microtransactions where you can spend like $40,000 and get a ship in the game, a type of high class ship. But at the same time, like I said, hey, they do wipes. They wipe the server. Now, I think you keep them ships, but whatever progress you do or making and upgrades, you have to keep restarting from scratch. Never ever.
Yeah, yeah, I'm too much of a pessimistic. Giving somebody my money, it's just not gonna happen. And I hope that the people do get some type of product or something. I can pretty much guarantee everything. You ain't gonna get no refund because they spent that money on something. Now, if they spent that on the game, do I think they spent it all on the game? No. So
No.
Li- listen, let me know in the comments below how you feel about Star Citizen. Do you believe this game is still coming, or do you believe this is the biggest scam in gaming history? Because this would be the biggest scam, I believe, in history of gaming. For you to milk somebody for 10 years, $1 billion? Nah, oh boy, somebody, nah, listen, oh boy, he'll have to meet me out in the streets because you stole from me. 10 years? No real release? You stole from me. I take that personally. I gave you personal money. I'm gonna take it personally. Fuck them. Whoever, and that guy must be one hell of a salesman to be 10 years in, $1 billion in. He must be one hell of a salesman. But I'm not promoting violence. I'm just saying I have a lot of aggression when I talk to that man face to face. That's all I'm gonna say. Let us know in the comments below how you feel. If this game is really coming, I don't think it is. I think you gave
Oh no.
money money. Not calling you a sucker, but you got suckered into some shit. But that's all we have for this week's episode. Let me know what you thought of any of the
Can't
topics.
even say it with a straight face.
Cause that's so crazy. Look, I'm not gonna keep harping on that shit, but let us know if you agree or disagree with any of our comments of our topics. And listen, stay tuned to next week, cause hopefully, listen, god damn, $1 billion, a billy? Now it was half a bill. Okay, you still in that Concord ish. This is worse than Concord. You didn't spend $1 billion on a game that might not ever come out. At least Concord came out for 2 weeks. You know, it's getting this revival thing. Apparently, I saw a commenter saying you can play it some way, somehow. I don't know. I didn't really get into that, but yeah. Listen, that's all we got.
That's all we got, and we're out. And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?